Good morning. Good morning. For some reason, I wanted to say good morning, party people. So someone could be partying. So I had a dream, and you know how I kind of like interpret them, right? I weave them into my reality because it's telling me something. Someone in my dream was telling me, drink, clean, whistle. But it was like a teenager was telling me this, okay, in my dream, drink, clean, whistle. And it was because there was boys or like friends hooking up with boys, and one of her friends was giving like, I'll call it top, okay? And she had gotten hepatitis or something like that. Or like herpes or something like that. So like, even if you think that because you're not having like full blown, you still gotta protect yourself. I don't care if like they say they got a clean whistle, okay? They might not. Who wants to be like, who wants to hop out the gate with that, right? Who wants to hop out the gate with that when all they want is that, right? Of course they're going to want to trap you, especially if they're not mature in the mind, right? So just be careful. Like, even if you're doing other things, still protect yourself. But these were like kids. Like kids. Okay. Like teenagers, right? Young teenagers. Okay. So I was speaking about brainwash, okay? We are habitual people, humans, right? We're pack people, we're habitual people, we are who we are around. So it's only our nature to get brainwashed. Okay, especially if we're not connected. Especially if we're not connected to self, to our higher self, to our inner child, to our masculine, to our feminine, to even our shadow, okay? Those are the 5 parts to the soul. And we have to be able to incorporate them all to be whole and to feel whole, okay? If we don't, if we are very disconnected to one of them even, let alone we're just sticking to one part of it, right? And all 4 other pieces are stuck somewhere in our past. It is important that we go back there and retrieve them and embrace them and nourish them and flourish them like that, so they flourish. They need the love, they need the happiness, they need the sun, right? Like that's what you do to become whole. You have to go gather these parts of your soul from your past. It's like the wounded warrior. Like you could be financially stable, but are you balanced inside? Okay, this is the reason that you're not able to manifest. And when you do, you'll find your match. This is holy shit. I mean, like a power couple. Like you think the Empress and the Emperor are a power couple. This is like a magical, mystical power couple. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Moving on from illusions. I'm going to get to the cards in a minute, okay? What was I speaking on? Becoming whole within self. Okay, by healing, and that's healing, right? That's inner work. That's inner work. Childhood trauma, that would be like your inner child. Okay. Emotional work, that would be like your divine feminine. Working on setting boundaries and saying no. Okay, and standing true to that. That'd probably be your inner masculine, right? Just things like that. You gotta be able to know. Like me being a little bit mouthy, but it ended up working out for me. Okay, that's my shadow side. Okay, I love every part of me. That's my favorite part of me. You know, I had one time, Laura actually was the same trauma therapist out of Bonneville, okay? She works at the treatment center there. She specializes in trauma. Okay, so when I did a deep meditation with her, okay? And I had to go back and visualize my little self, exactly how I looked. And I had to go be the adult, the leader, okay? And grab my little hand and walk myself up these stairs. Okay, and be patient. Okay, and tell her that everything is okay. Okay, and that I'm here for her and I'll never leave her side, right? And I walk up these stairs and we closed a set of doors, like a series of doors and stairs, okay? And I don't remember exactly how that guided meditation ended, but my child, my inner child, okay, the one that was so scared and fearful was with me. And then nobody was fucking with her. Okay. So it's like, it's really important that we go back and we retrieve them somehow. However you can do it, however you can imagine it, but it's easier alongside someone that has done it. So like that's why I'm an advocate for these like specialists in trauma, in recovery even, okay? Or someone that you know that they'll leave you in a safe space, right? And not just anywhere. Like, it's scary that people just go digging and digging and digging and digging. And then don't know how to bring them back, right? Because that's how like suicide happens. That's how overdoses happen. That's how stagnancy happens. That's how quitting happens. Okay? Quitting healing. Okay. So I was talking about brainwash, right? What was I speaking about? How to be whole. Brainwash. Okay. So us being habitual people, pack people, we're around who we are around. Okay. And there are people who are like the change that you want to see. Okay. Do not doubt that. Do not allow like the narrow-minded people around you do not doubt that. If nobody believes what you believe in yourself. Okay, because you are more accurate thinking limitlessly than anybody is trying to plant doubt. Okay? I knew that was going to happen. Okay. So, how to combat brainwash? More brainwash. That's how I did it, okay? How do you combat brainwash? Brainwash. Okay, but a different kind of brainwash, like a positive brainwash, like a happy brainwash. Even if you don't believe it, but you know that's where you want to be, brainwash, okay? Okay, so I did a list of things that I am. And even if I have an inkling of doubt, I want to be. Okay. This is where like being a wannabe is healthy. Okay. It's because I want to be better than myself, not anybody else. Okay, so to learn something is to do it over and over and over and over till you get better, better, okay? So the way that I wrote this was in like a specific way that I do to learn, okay? In threes, I learn in threes usually. So I wrote, I am the change that I want to see. Okay. And then I underlined the key word that I thought was the key word. And the key word here was change. Okay, I underlined it once. I know it looks like I did it 3 times because you're seeing the finished product, okay? And then after that, I went over it to make it even more bold. So I wrote it twice. Okay? I wrote it twice. And then I underlined the key word again. Change. And then I drew a little heart and I colored, you know, and then I read it. I am the change that I want to see. Okay, so now it's in my brain. I wrote it down twice. I, interacted with it. And then I'm moving on. Okay, I am happy by choice. You see how I added by choice? It'd be pretty irrational for me to write I am happy because I'm not happy all the time. And I know that that's not attainable. I can't stay in happy. Not yet, at least, right? It's just out of my ballpark right now. That's not on my level. I can't even see it yet. Okay? One day I'll be able to write I am happy and know that's attainable all day long. Okay? Right now it's not. So I'm happy by choice, even though the things around me, the people around me, my own habitual thoughts will not make me happy. I can sit here and look at this and choose it. Go take a nap, go for a walk, go tickle my baby, do something that brings me joy. And choose happier than I am now. If anything, get to a neutral. Because all this negative guilt, shame creates endings. It creates stagnancies in the body. It stops the ebb and flow, okay? So it's like that's what causes disease, is these negative emotions, frustration. Even disappointment. So if you're around people that constantly disappoint you even, right? You gotta I'll get to it, okay? I'll get to it in here. I am the change I want to see. What does that mean to you? This is like pre high priestess energy. This is very confident and independent with self. When you do this, when you make these changes, you're going to get an outward reaction. Because how dare you want better for yourself? How dare you think you're better than me Right? People just automatically think that they fear you getting better, judging them, okay, because they judge people, okay? They feel threatened by your independence is what this is, and that's their reaction. Because they want us to become stagnant in our new passions, okay? That will be able to hold us in high honor. It's a jealousy thing, it is. It's a I don't want to lose you thing, it is. Okay, so whatever thought comes to your mind that makes you the happiest about that, like, just think of the one thing that makes that person tolerable, even though they're being super irrational, right? Think about the happiest thought about that person and just dwell on that and forget about the rest of that, okay? Be aware of it, ignore it. Because then they can't bring that up to you and have it piss you off, right? Because you're not entertaining it. You're not giving them that reaction. They're going to have to let it go because it doesn't work anyways. So I am the change I want to see. Stable. Structured. I'm getting routine. Someone's changing up their routine. Someone's being more stable, more grounded. Keeping to themselves. Protecting their peace, their happiness. That's really good. And this has people conflicted. Or people want to create conflict for you because of this. Somebody sees you celebrating, okay, and they want to cause you conflict. Someone sees you stable and they want to cause you conflict. Someone sees you embracing your truth and they want to cause you conflict, okay? Just leave them where they're at. They're not learning their lesson, okay? And I'm not saying back from you, okay? Well, kind of, but like they're not learning their lesson from the universe, from God, okay? And that's their own problem. They don't want to change. They don't want you to change because they don't want to change. It's like, have you ever heard the saying, crabs in a bucket? Where there's one crab like almost getting out there at the fucking brim. They even got a claw like clamped onto the side of the fucking bucket. And all the rest of the crabs linked together with their body weight, they drag that fucker back down. That's what these people will do when you decide to empower yourself. Okay, I'm happy by choice. That's where I was. Okay, so I wrote it out. I wrote over again to make it bold. I underlined happy and I underlined choice.